Okay, so hey guys and welcome back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Shields versus Marshall rematch. If you're new around here and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so, like the video if you do need like the video, and let's get straight into it. So, Shields is 12-0 with 2 KOs, and Marshall is also 12-0 but with 10 KOs. This fight is for the IBF, WBA, WBC and WBO World Middleweight belts. Shields' last fight was a win by unanimous decision versus Kozin, and Marshall's was a win via KO in round 3 versus Hermans. This fight is a huge grudge match which is stemmed back to their amateur days where Marshall beat Shields on points, and Marshall has been very keen to say and rub it in her face that she's done that, and Shields has had enough of it and has been calling her out for quite a while now, and this fight is now eventually happening, and arguably this is one of the biggest grudge matches in women's boxing history, to be honest, especially British boxing history. I know Shields isn't British, but Marshall is, so I can count that realistically. This is the first female Sky Sports card, which is showcasing. It's an all-female Sky Sports fight card, showcasing how far the female boxing sport has come, which is very good for Sky to do. I know a lot of organisations don't have a lot of women fighters, and they don't always. They'd never do a massive card like this, and to be fair, this definitely could sell more numbers than big male boxing fights, just because of they've chose a great card and with great fighters, and there's a lot of good up and coming female fighters, and I'm just glad to see that they're finally getting the recognition that they deserve. Also on this card, speaking of how good the card is Mayer versus Baumgardner for the IBF, WBO, WBC and IBO World Super Featherweight titles, in which I think Mayer will win via unanimous decision. I think she is too dominant of a champion not to win, and I mean Baumgartner is a very good opponent, but I think it will still be, I suppose, relatively convincing. I don't see Mayer being able to get to stoppage, but I do believe she'll win via unanimous decision. I don't think it'll be that close that it's a split decision, but I think Mayer will still end up getting the win. Going back to the Shields versus Marshall fight, Marshall is the slight favourite, arguably possibly because it's in a fight, it's in a country, and she's won the amateur fights. But to be fair, Shields has got the more belts, so it's very slight that Marshall is the favourite, and I think that Marshall will win via TKO in round 6. I think she has shown how good she is at knocking fighters out. Obviously, she's not quite fought an opponent that's at Shields' level, but I believe that she is still good enough, and she's still going to have the power there. Nothing's going to change in that aspect, and I believe that. I might be wrong with this, and I'm sure, I very much doubt that Clarissa Shields is going to see this, but she probably won't want me saying this, but I think she's going to go in with a bit too much emotion showing, and Marshall seems the bit more calmer out of the two of them in these kind of head-to-heads and clashes that they're having, and so I think Marshall is going to go there with a bit more of a level head and being able to pick her shots better and land that all-decisive strike in the round 6, because I don't think it'll be that early of a stoppage. I still believe that Shields is an amazing fighter and will be able to land some blows herself in the earlier rounds, and I could see this being a great fight which involves quite a few knockdowns, and in the end I think Marshall will win. And then I'd like to see, that will be the unification done for her for the middleweight division. So, if she wants to move up to the super middleweight division and try and be a 2-time champion, she could fight either Hammer or Hamer or DAZN. So, you never know. I'd love to see a 2-time English women's boxing champion. And yeah, you never know. These things could happen. You've seen crazier things happen in the sport, and I'm just glad that, like I said, the female boxing sport is getting more recognition. But yeah, that is it for today's prediction. Hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you didn't, like the video, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.